For more than 70 years, ITV has been part of British life, from Coronation Street to Love Island to some of the biggest sporting events on television. But now, something historic is happening. Sky has agreed a deal worth up to £1.6 billion to buy ITV's broadcasting and streaming business. On the surface, this looks like one television company buying another. But look closer, and this deal tells us something much bigger. Traditional television is under attack. Netflix changed how we watch. YouTube changed who we watch. TikTok changed how long we watch. And now, two of Britain's biggest television businesses are combining forces to survive a war for something more valuable than money. This is the story of the £1.6 billion deal that could change British television forever. For decades, television had one of the greatest business models ever created. The formula was simple. Get millions of people to watch the same program at the same time, then sell access to those people to advertisers. The bigger the audience, the more valuable the advertising space. ITV became one of the most powerful players in this system. It had something almost every business dreams of: distribution, millions of homes, millions of viewers, and programs that became part of British culture. But Sky built a different type of empire. Instead of giving television away for free and relying mainly on advertising, Sky convinced millions of people to pay for television, sports, movies, entertainment, news, different business models, different audiences. But for decades, both companies benefited from one important thing. The television was the center of the home. And then the internet changed everything. At first, traditional broadcasters competed with each other. ITV worried about the BBC. Sky worried about other television providers. But the biggest threat didn't come from another British television channel. It came from Silicon Valley. Netflix taught people they didn't have to wait until 9 p.m. to watch a program. YouTube created an endless library of free content. And social media platforms trained an entire generation to consume entertainment in seconds rather than hours. Suddenly, ITV and Sky weren't just competing against each other, they were competing against some of the richest technology companies in history for the same limited resource, 24 hours in your day. And this created a huge problem. Traditional broadcasters still had expensive studios, expensive productions, sports rights, presenters, journalists, infrastructure. But the audience was becoming more fragmented. The old television model was being forced to evolve. ITV responded with ITVX. Sky pushed deeper into streaming through products such as SkyStream and Now. But individually, both companies faced competitors operating on a completely different scale. So the question became, do you keep fighting alone? Or do you combine forces? The headline says, Sky is buying ITV. But that isn't completely accurate. Sky is buying ITV's media and entertainment business. That includes its free-to-air television channels and the ITVX streaming platform. ITV Studios, the production business behind major programs sold around the world, will remain a separate listed company. The structure of the deal is also interesting. It includes £1.2 billion in upfront cash, the transfer of Love Productions to ITV Studios at a £200 million valuation, and up to another £200 million linked to advertising performance. Why would Sky want this? Because Sky isn't simply buying television channels, it's buying attention at scale. The combined streaming operation is expected to reach more than 16 million viewers each month. Sky gets access to a huge free-to-air audience. ITV's broadcasting business gets the backing and technology of a much larger media group. And together, they gain more scale to compete with global streaming platforms. This isn't just an acquisition. It's consolidation for survival. Here is what makes this story bigger than British television. Today, nearly every entertainment company has the same problem. There is more content than any human being could possibly consume. Think about your own day. You could watch Netflix, scroll TikTok, watch YouTube, play a video game, watch football, listen to a podcast, or open another streaming service. Every minute you spend on one platform is a minute you cannot spend somewhere else. That means the entertainment business has become a giant auction for human attention, and scale matters. The biggest companies can spend more on content. They can spread technology costs across larger audiences. They can collect more data. They can sell larger advertising packages. And they can survive expensive failures that smaller companies cannot. Sky says it expects about £200 million in annual cost synergies, mainly through areas such as platforms and marketing. It has also committed to significant spending with ITV Studios over several years. That tells you the strategy. Cut duplication on one side. Use scale to strengthen content on the other. But there is another side to consolidation. When two major players combine, questions about competition, jobs, and media concentration inevitably follow. And because the deal requires regulatory approval, the story isn't over yet. At first, selling a famous broadcasting business might sound like defeat, but from ITV's perspective, there is another way to look at it. The company is separating two very different businesses. One side is broadcasting and streaming, a difficult battle involving advertising pressure, technology investment, and global competition. The other is ITV Studios, a content production business that can create programs and sell them to broadcasters and streaming services around the world. After the transaction, ITV Studios is intended to remain an independent, publicly listed content company. ITV has also said it expects to return around £950 million to shareholders after completion of the deal. So ITV isn't simply disappearing, it is changing what kind of company it wants to be. Instead of owning both the factory and the shop, it is separating the business that makes the content from the business that distributes it to viewers. And Sky wants the distribution side, because in the attention economy, owning the relationship with the audience can be incredibly valuable. The £1.6 billion Sky and ITV deal is about more than television channels. It is a sign of where the entire entertainment industry is heading. For decades, television companies controlled what we watched. Then, the internet gave viewers unlimited choice. Now, traditional media companies are being forced to become bigger, smarter, and more efficient just to compete. Sky believes combining with ITV's broadcasting and streaming operation can create a stronger British competitor to global platforms such as Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, and Disney. But the biggest question is still unanswered. Can combining two giants from the traditional television era create a winner in the streaming age? Or is this simply a £1.6 billion attempt to slow down an inevitable shift? Because the future of television won't be decided by who owns the most channels. It will be decided by one thing: who can keep us watching? And right now, that battle is only getting started. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. We uncover the business, money, and billion-dollar decisions behind the world's biggest stories, with new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.